Well, you know.
So this is where we need the rich soundboard because he's not here, right?
Yeah, we need the rich soundboard, so that's coming. That'll
Yeah,
be
you
here.
just wait, Rich. You just wait, and it'll come at a time you least expect it.
Yeah, this is what you get for. I mean, not like he's gonna fucking listen anyway. I at least listen when I can't make it. He doesn't even listen to the fucking show.
We'll have to figure out a way that he does listen.
So, all right, this is gonna show if he shows or not. We need to come up with a list of phrases that we need to try to get him to say. We need to try to goad him into saying for the next episode, so we can record it, and just snip out those statements to make into the soundboard.
That'd be awesome. I'm down.
We need to try it. That way you don't have to scour hours and hours and hours of recordings to come up with the shit. We need to figure out what we want him to say on the soundboard, make it into a list, and we'll just check it off as we go.
Yeah, because I have a feeling like if I fed like hours and hours of recordings into like some AI, we'd probably be put on a list.
Yeah, I think so too. I think you're right. I think you're right.
Oh man. We're gonna throw down a regular Noise Brigade episode here, and I know you had done kind of an interesting thing we're gonna get into here that we've done before. But we got some other notes to hit, Nintendo related, and actually, I guess all Nintendo related first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Zelda, fill me in on this.
Yeah, so they did about a 10-minute preview of some game footage, some actual gameplay footage. And the first thing that comes to mind, and I don't know if it was their feed or what the deal was, but the frame rate chugged a little bit. There was some slowdown that I noticed, and it was similar to Pokemon, to Arceus, where the items that were moving, if they were far enough in the distance, they had a reduced frame rate, so it only showed like it looked like it was moving really jankily. That's a new word. But then once it came closer, like the frame rate improved and it was more clean and steady. And it looked like there was some pop-up that happened that wasn't really necessarily there in Breath of the Wild. So it'll be interesting to see once it comes out with all of the stuff they added, because they did add a ton of shit. Be interesting to see how it all plays out and whether or not this will be Nintendo's folly in not releasing a more beefed up version of the Switch hardware to run this game, because kind of like what we saw with the Wii U. The Wii U could run Breath of the Wild, but it didn't run it well. The Switch ran it well.
Right, and that's the thing is, and this was just my take, Breath of the Wild to me was probably going to ultimately be the best, well, maybe not best, but highest as far as graphically intense games to run on it. I personally have played Skyrim on the Switch, which is a very old game in comparison. Now we're talking a game that's 10 plus years old, and the Switch version of that obviously does not play as well as it does on Sony or Microsoft or PC, of course, dependent upon your hardware. Whereas Breath of the Wild plays wonderfully on a Switch. I've never noticed any issues with it. So I am curious, because I know you had issues with the initial release of Arceus. It almost makes me wonder. It's like, to me, you could stick with the same exact engine as you did with Breath of the Wild and not try to make things overly graphically intensive. There's no need to make it prettier. It's already a pretty thing to look at. Just change the story. Give me different things. But who knows? I don't know. I think this is
like the same engine.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
It looks like the same engine, but I feel like they're putting the problem that Pokemon Arceus had was they were putting so much into the world. And so, because it ran, I mean, it wasn't the exact same engine, but it looked pretty damn close to what they were using it looked like a hybrid of what they were using in Breath of the Wild and the other Pokemon games. And Sword and Shield ran fairly well. I don't remember many, if any, graphical issues with that. But it was a more pared back world. But there were a ton of Pokemon in it. And with this one, or with Arceus, there was a lot of Pokemon, but it was a more detailed world, kind of like what you would see in Breath of the Wild. And if you remember in Breath of the Wild, when you would run into enemies, it was what, like 3, 4 at a time?
Yeah, it's not many. You would have like those Boblikin things would be in groups. Any bigger enemy, like you would see like multiple guardians, but they would be in a distance formation. It
Right,
wasn't like they were all on top of you.
right.
Um,
Well, and that's kind of where Pokemon they had them acting like animals, like they were in little herds and stuff. So you had a whole bunch of little individual creatures that were all making their own individual movements and everything. So there was a lot of computations going on there, a lot of stuff, and that kind of helped made it chug a little bit with the frame rate and everything. So I think with Tears of the Kingdom, they kind of maybe stretched themselves a little too far by what they have on the screen. Again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was just my shitty YouTube, or maybe it was just their shitty feed or whatever. But it just looked like there were some issues with chugging and pop in and stuff like that. But that's not what I wanted to talk about. There are new abilities in this game. So one of them is I can't, I'm going to screw up what they called them, but it was basically like a rewind
mhm.
where like, so what they were showing and what initially made me think, oh shit, the stuff's chugging, is this block starts falling out of the sky, and they go, oh look, there's something falling out of the sky, maybe we should check it out. So they go over to it, and then Link hops on it and uses this rewind ability, and it takes him back up into the sky, and then he can paraglide from that block over to one of the sky islands.
Oh. I
And
like
then
that.
so that was cool. And I was like, all right, I like that. But then it got even better, because then remember what was one of your biggest frustrations with Breath of the Wild?
Uh, trying to think. I think it would be like knowing when to use, not all the time, because some of it was puzzle based. So like my special abilities, like knowing when to use certain ones, like to make it a little better. A lot of times, like early on when you learn them, it was very tutorial based, so you knew what to do with it, like moving blocks or whatever. I think it got a little more difficult as it went on. Not to say the game was ever, to me, like hard in that sense with the puzzles and all that, but you had all these tools at your disposal, and it was like sometimes it's like, which way do I go here? Or like you almost paint yourself into a corner
Right.
sometimes where you're kind of, and you know that you've got some crazy enemies ahead of you, and you don't have a whole lot of resources left because you had to use them all getting to said point. That was kind of a pain to me. I don't know. That was
So you kind of you hinted at one of my biggest frustrations, which was the endurance of the weapons and how the weapons would break.
Mhm.
And you would be stuck with, you could go into a dungeon or whatever, or go to attack somebody, and all of a sudden you've broken all your swords, and all you've got left is, oh hey look, there's a stick.
Yeah, here's a club.
Well,
Yeah.
here's what you can do in this game. So say you've got that stick, right, and you walk over, and then you see like a big rock. You can use the new fuse ability and attach the rock to the stick, and now you've
Ooh,
got a like a mace.
nice.
Or you can say there's somebody that if you get in close, they're gonna hit you. So you need to attack them from a distance. You can pick up like a branch and grab a pitchfork and attach the pitchfork to the end of the branch. And you've got this thing that's like 5 times taller than you, but you're able to attack the enemy with it and take them out.
Nice. I like it.
Now, it's not only that, but the monster parts. Say you're having trouble hunting, right? Or you need to kill something with an arrow. One of the things that we always saw that we got, like the little pieces, were the key size, right? You
Hmm.
can put a key eye on an arrow and it turns it into a homing missile.
Ooh, that's
Or,
sweet.
or you can take your like a puff mushroom and
Hmm.
attach it to your shield. And if somebody attacks you and you block it, it explodes and it makes like a smoke screen.
Ooh, that's nice. I like that.
So then we get to the next level of this, which well I'm gonna all right, between them, they showed where there's this ability where you can go through a ceiling. So like say you were in a room and you wanted to go up to the next floor, you use this ability and you basically jump up and like ghost through the ceiling.
Oh,
So that was
sweet.
pretty cool. But the one that I was really excited about, and I think this is the right name. I think it was called the Master Hand ability. And so this is since this game takes place more in the future from Breath of the Wild, things have advanced a little bit technologically. So you'll find things like fans and stuff like that laying around, right? Like electric fans.
Mhm.
Um, so say you need to cross a body of water and your endurance isn't that strong, so you know you can't swim it, and there's no Korok leaves around, so you can't like, you know, take a boat and blow yourself over. What you can do is take two or three or four logs or whatever and connect them. You can pick up these fans and attach them, and you've made a motorboat.
Nice. That's sweet.
And they have it all kinds of configurations you can do. You can make vehicles. You can make they did what else did they do? They did like but they've done all kinds of cool stuff where you can basically build
So it's, yeah, so
in
it's like like a master craftsman type thing.
right. But you don't have to have like blueprints or whatever. It's just whatever you can think of and whatever you can find in the environment and you can use it to do it.
Okay, so it's like taking the cooking ability from Breath of the Wild, where you basically have the ingredients at your disposal, and some of them make obviously dishes that provide you more health or whatever than others, and some of them are just they turn out to be nothing. Um, so they kind of expanded on that. Basically, it's what it sounds like. It's like they take the items and then that's cool. I like that. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's definitely a cool addition to the game, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it all plays out. I was starting to kind of question whether or not I was going to get it near launch. I figured maybe I would just wait. Um, but after seeing this today, I'm more interested. Um, Probably still won't get it at launch. I'll probably wait a minute and just see how because I still have this gut feeling that they're going to be releasing some kind of hardware revision, um,
Right.
which sucks because the end of the demo or whatever you want to call it, they showed the new OLED Switch Zelda edition that comes
Mm,
with a nice dock and it comes with the cool Joy Cons and everything. It's sweet, man. The system is sweet, but I feel like it's wasted
right.
because
Yeah.
I mean, again, let's see what happens when we've actually got some hands on with it and people have actually gotten to play it. But just my initial reaction to it, just seeing the gameplay, it's like, oh shit, this is not exactly running smooth there, Nintendo. Maybe you kind of screwed the pooch a little bit, bud.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna have to go back and kind of look to see, but I think you hit this many months, a year ago or so now with Arceus about different you know stumbling blocks, if you will. Just the hardware may not have been up to snuff with the game itself, and it doesn't surprise me because like we've said this time and time again on here, the Switch is old hardware. It was old hardware when it was released,
Yeah.
and now we're talking. I would put it akin to being equivalent to a top of the line Android tablet from 2013.
Right.
Seriously, I
Yeah.
honestly
Oh
think
yeah.
that's where it's about at.
Yeah. It's a
Um,
what is it? It's a Tegra X16 or something like that.
yeah, and I remember I actually had a tablet that I got that had a Tegra in it. The first time I remember getting one, and it was, I don't know, 09, 10 time frame. I mean, it was an Android tablet, um, but it was, put it down. It was almost like a very early iteration of what the Switch screen was.
Oh, here you go. All right. It's a Tegra X1. So it was released. It was released in 2015, but It's the same processor that was in the NVIDIA Shield.
Yeah. So here you go. And again, this is going to be a tad different, but I actually had a ViewSonic G tablet,
Hmm.
and that was Android based with an NVIDIA Tegra 2. So when that came out in 20, yeah, I'll give you the specs on that. This was 2010. That was running Android 2.2 with a Tegra 2 SoC. It was a dual Cortex, clocked at 1 gigahertz. And that was the top of the line in 2010.
Right.
So
Yeah. And
for,
this
for for
is
Android, we're not talking iPads, we're not talking any of that.
right. And so this is looking like, let's see. So they did for 2019 for Switches that came out after that. They came out with the Tegra X1 Plus, but it's still, I mean, it's running off of this. It's trying to get the, let's see if we can get the speed on that. Um so ARM 4 Cortex A57 cores are at 1.02 gigahertz.
Isn't that crazy?
So you're essentially, you didn't really get that much faster, you know?
Yeah, it's wild to think that. And what's crazy too? I always think about this with this technology in general. Nintendo, Nintendo to me has always taken the same approach as Texas Instruments. Texas Instruments to this day still sells calculators that have the same technology as they did when you and I were in high school. So
And
doesn't
not the
change.
ones that you could play games on.
No,
Well,
no,
actually, yeah, the TI
yeah,
83.
yeah. Now they're a little more up to date. A lot of them are, there's some color screens now. There's a little difference there, but if you go back to just the old Solar TI 30 X series, that stuff hasn't changed in damn near 30 years. So Texas Instruments figured it out, and so is
I wonder
Nintendo
if you
apparently.
wonder if you could play Breath of the Wild on a TI 85.
I don't know. I'll give it a shot.
But can it run Doom? Actually, yes, it
That's
can. I think. I think they
yeah,
ported Doom because I'm
yeah. I
fairly
remember. I
certain.
remember. Yeah, I remember Doom with
They,
the. I think it was the 83.
yeah,
Was the 83 run Doom? Yeah, it had to
the
be.
83 runs Doom. It's terrible, obviously, but
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's like a port that like someone obviously programmed themselves. I don't think it was.
yeah,
Certainly wasn't like from ID.
right. And it was just, it's just proof of concept, just to answer the question, can it run Doom? Oh, yeah,
Right. Yeah,
but
that was those are fun times, man. I remember being able to do mess around a little bit, but I never got past like playing Snake. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Oh, I love Snake. Snake was awesome.
I was
But
talking
my biggest
to
question is, were you ever able to make a soundboard with one?
with a TI calculator. I never did.
Yeah,
I never messed with that.
you never did. Well, maybe
No.
maybe we'll need to work on that.
Yeah, I didn't know you could actually make sounds with those
No,
things.
you can't. I'm just being a dick.
I was gonna say I was like,
I'm just hinting at things to come.
okay, I was gonna say I was like, wait a minute, like what TI calculator did you have that had a speaker?
That joke landed like a that landed with a thud. It
Yeah,
was a bad
well,
joke.
sometimes things go over my head and I can't catch them.
Nothing goes over my head. My reflex.
Exactly.
I will catch.
All right, so that was cool. I'm looking forward to the new Zelda though. I need to catch the gameplay and just kind of, I don't know, see for myself. But excited.
Yeah,
That sounds cool.
yeah. I mean, like I said, it does look good. It's definitely not a what's the word I'm looking for here? It's not. I don't think it'll disappoint in any way, shape, or form. Um, my biggest concern is just that it's like we said, man. It's old tech. It's old
Right.
tech, and
Yeah. And
so that just always concerns me.
yeah. No, 100%. 100%. All right.
But
So we're gonna dive into the main event on this one.
let's do it, man. Let's go for some "Am I the asshole?" And we can do this one of two ways. We can either, if you want, we can um, alternate reading them,
Yeah, I said we
or
do that, and I said we do that, and we'll just kind of give our takes on them. What do you say? So it's
okay,
just you and me on this one. We've done
yeah,
these. We've done these before. We had. I think the original one was obviously probably you and me, but we've done one with multiple people. Actually, I think the last time was the infamous episode with Richie and Danielle's mom, and
yeah, I think so.
yeah.
I still think he
So
has PTSD from that, and that's why
yeah,
he's
he
been
probably
out.
bailed on. Yeah, probably bailed on it. Yeah, no, that's in our archives. So go back, check that out, noisebrigadepod.com, and shuffle through and go back and look for the last I am the asshole episode.
Yeah.
That's not this one.
Yeah, we'll try and make this one better than that one, but I don't know.
I don't
There's no
know. I don't know.
ripping
That
Richie
was
apart. So
yeah, yeah. All right. So do you want to read the first, then I'll go after the
yeah,
next one?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right.
So all right. Am I the asshole for canceling the birthday party I planned to throw for my wife after what she did? Well, you know what? Before we even start, what do you think, Tom? What's your preliminary?
Okay, and yeah, well, let's preface this by saying I have no idea. I didn't read any of these. You didn't read any of these. You just kind of cut, paste, and have at it. I don't know. I guess it depends on what she did.
All
I
right.
don't know. I want to
Yeah, I
know.
guess maybe this isn't one that we can really do a preliminary on. So, all right.
Yeah.
I, male 36, remarried after my late wife passed away. I have a son who's 15. My current wife and I have been together for 2 years. She generally has a good relationship with my son, although they tend to have some disagreements from time to time. My son has a background in arts that involve wood. He used to help his grandfather with his woodworking and learned how to make handmade wooden items and use them as gifts. I planned a dinner party for my wife's birthday at a prestigious restaurant. The day before the party, she was cleaning my son's room and saw what he got her for her birthday, and that was a wooden tree with mine, hers, and his name on it. She talked with him and told him while she thought it was a sweet gift, she asked that he didn't bring it to the restaurant and give it to her there. Why? No idea. When my son told me this, I just had to call her out on it. She flat out said that she thought the gift looked ridiculous and she didn't want it to be seen in that prestigious restaurant and in front of her guests. I lost it on her and told her she should be ashamed of herself for saying this when my son was being sincere and thoughtful. She swore she wasn't ashamed nor embarrassed by his work and even said she'll take the gift, but she simply didn't want it to be seen there. I told her not to worry about it since I decided to cancel the whole thing. She went off on me, calling me unreasonable for outright canceling her birthday over such a trivial thing. I refused to keep arguing, but she threw a fit about how I ruined her birthday and made her lose respect for me and my promises. My son kept the gift since she left the house 2 days ago, and her mom has been chewing me out for my decision and calling me an asshole for treating their daughter like this. It could be that it was not. Could be that it was not a big deal and I overreacted, but my son was feeling hurt by her request. Am I the asshole?
Look, I mean, he was sweet enough to make this awesome handmade wooden gift. Now, I would like to see it just out of sheer curiosity,
Yeah.
just in the sheer fact that, like, I hope it wouldn't look like, like a dildo.
Right. Well, that's
Or,
what I was gonna say.
you
Like,
know what I mean?
yeah. Like, as long as the thing doesn't look like fuck it, as long as it's not phallic and it doesn't look
Right.
like a dick with like your names coming out from the base like pubes or whatever, like there's literally no reason. My view on kids and gifts and stuff is you always take whatever they offer you as a gift and you act as grateful as possible for it because they don't have the means to go out and get you things. So anything they give you is from the heart, and whether you think it has meaning or not, it has meaning to them. So to act like this over a gift that the kid made, get the fuck out of here. You're a
Right. And
fucking brat.
right. Yeah. No, I'm in complete agreement with, siding with his own son for one.
Yeah.
This is one of those cases where I wholeheartedly agree with what you just said. The kid went out of his way. He learned how to make them with his grandfather for one, and now he's trying to apply that craft by making his stepmom a gift for her birthday, and then the fact that she saw it beforehand, for one, that sucks enough. But then
Right.
to actually come out and say, "Yeah, don't bring that. That's just bad. It's just bad taste. It's
It's
just
just
something that's
hurtful, man.
it's not. It's like I'd have a hard time saying that to another adult,
Right.
let alone a kid.
Right.
If I see something like, look, man, let's be straight up here, and like you said, hey, man, I've got this awesome gift for you. I've been working on it for a month, and I somehow stumbled upon it, and I was like thinking to myself in my head, oh, that's really something. But not at that moment though, I would block it out and be like, look, I never saw it. And the moment that you gave it to me, I'd be like, this is the coolest thing ever. Only because you went through all that work to get to that point.
Right.
Like that's I know it's kind of a crappy thing as a human being, but sometimes you just have to suck it up. And
Right.
you have to white lie it your way out of it sometimes. But that's what you do.
Right. Because you're an
This and
adult
right.
and this child worked hard to make that for you. It's not like it's now again, maybe it's a stick and he taped their names to it, which I don't think it doesn't sound like that's what it is. But even
No.
if it was that, you take it and you're gracious for it. You know what?
Yeah.
And if anybody at that place is going to give you shit because your son gave you a gift, then they're the asshole, not you.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
don't even stress over it. Why does it have? I don't understand why it's even a thing. Like I just
I just want
I
to know
don't know.
what the prestigious restaurant was. Was it like the
Oh,
Red
it was
Lobster or the
clearly
Olive
like
Garden?
dude, it was definitely an Olive Garden. Actually, no, it wasn't Olive Garden. It was Carrabba's.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
Yeah,
That's
you know,
that's the once a year.
yeah.
Oh man. All right. Let's move on. I'll do one of these now. Okay. Am I the asshole for insulting a lady? I, 30-year-old male, am currently in Canada with my 13-year-old adoptive sister. Our dad recently passed away, and she's really worried about her biological dad in Canada. She's stressed out from bullies, school, and life in general, and her birthday is coming up, so I figured I'd give her some good memories. She got pretty worried whenever anything delayed us, and I had her calm herself down and really tried to enforce that everything was fine and that the worst was behind us. Our flight got delayed, and she was really stressed out. I told her to do what calms her down. She paced around, shook her hands. The therapist calls it stimming, something to do with autism. I don't know much about it. A lady grabbed her arm gently, eventually, and asked her to sit down since she was distracting her from reading. Here's the interaction. Me, she's just staying, helps her not freak out. Her, she should know better. Wait, excuse me, she should know better ways to calm down. She shouldn't burden everyone else. She has autism. She doesn't process things the same way. Oh, she's like feeble minded? Well, not in the slightest. But you just said she had autism. Let's start over. Is there any way we could compromise? I'll be honest. I think she can be a normal person or get the hell out. I've been nice, but I'm going to be frank. You can go elsewhere or get used to it. You can read just fine. She's freaked out, and the least you could do is let her calm down. Oh, okay, I can always get security. So your plan is to call security on a 13-year-old girl for what exactly? Shut up, don't die on this hill. She stopped talking after that and let my sister calm down. My sister said mean, but in all honesty, doesn't care and is glad that she was allowed to calm down. I think I might have been too mean. Am I the asshole?
Fuck no. You weren't mean enough.
Yeah, definitely not. Um, Look, uh, I can't tell you how many times like I would have anything that was bothering me as a human being, autism or not. Like you pace around. I mean, that's what you do. That's what I
Right.
do. Uh, leave him alone. I mean,
Right.
it's not like she was over there slapping the old lady in the face.
God, I fucking wish she would have.
I
The old
mean,
bag sounds like she could have used a good beating.
the thing that bothers me about that, there's two things that bother me, like really bother me about that. For one, that she grabbed her arm,
Yep.
gently or otherwise, like, no thank you. And then the other line of she should know better ways to calm down.
Right.
Dude,
I,
come
I
on.
just
Like,
my thing is pretty much every word that this lady said and every action she took. If I don't understand the entitlement because you know what, you're in public. No one's you're not in a library. Things are going to be happening around you. People are going to be talking. Stuff's going on. If you're that distracted by other things going on that you can't read, maybe you're the one that's feeble minded.
right, right. No, I can understand in certain situations where, um, look, we've all been to the movie theaters and you've always run into the people that two things: they won't shut up or they won't get off their phone, and they're right in front of you, and that bright screen is right there, and it's like you just want to slap the crap out of somebody.
Right.
You know, those are different situations. In this case, it's like, look, you have a kid who is just trying to calm themselves down, and this is the way that she does it. And it's like the fact that you're touched by a stranger and that you're told that there's better ways to calm down. Come on, that no, that doesn't fly at all.
Right.
Like, and what's crazy is that stuff didn't fly 20 years ago to me. That's don't touch me,
Yeah.
don't touch her. Like, no,
Yeah. I
no.
mean, obviously it's not his kid, but the minute you lay your hands on, you know, you don't lay your hands on somebody else.
Simple as
That's
that.
I tell Peyton that all the time. You keep your hands to yourself. I said,
Yep.
as soon as somebody doesn't keep their hands to themselves with you, whatever happens after that happens. So if this girl would have like hauled off, and I mean, obviously maybe that's a little bit overkill, but honestly, this lady, after how this lady turned out, I kind of wish the 13-year-old would have slapped the shit out of her.
Yeah, no kidding. By the way, the keep the hands to yourself is the call that the Georgia satellite method.
Jesus Christ. I fucking quit.
I try.
All right. All right. Am I the asshole for not letting my wife have some of my cake after failing her weekly weigh-in.
Oh
So
boy. Here we
I
go.
kind of I kind of wish Danielle was here for this one, just because I would want a woman's opinion on this. But I think I have a pretty damn good idea of what the of the who the asshole is in this one. Okay. All right. It was my male 29 birthday yesterday, and a close friend of mine made me a small cake. My wife, female 24, has been prescribed a weight loss plan by the dietitian she goes to. She has to weigh herself every week and lose her target 3 pounds. This week, for the third time in a row, she gained weight after snacking on a bunch of junk food and therefore failed her weigh in. She asked to have some of my birthday cake, and I told her to eat the dinner I made first so she can have some nutritious food before eating sugary cake. She got upset at me for telling her to eat dinner first and is still mad. Am I the asshole?
I think these two just need not to be together.
Yeah. I kind of feel like I kind of feel like I almost want to say no assholes in this one, but he's still an asshole.
I mean,
Like,
I don't know. I hate to say this, but like I've always eaten my dinner first before eating dessert.
right.
So
I
yeah.
mean, yeah, you eat dinner and then you have dessert. That's kind of how it works. And especially, I mean, look, I don't know what their situation is, so I don't want to speculate, but if you're on a weight loss plan by a dietitian, that kind of sounds to me like you might have some kind of issue.
Right.
And if it's a medical issue where it's detrimental to your health for you to continue to put on weight when you've gone up the past 3 weeks, maybe he's maybe he could have gone about it differently, but maybe he's actually in the right here for telling you not to have the cake. But you're
Yeah.
so also an adult.
Right. Yeah. Right. And that's the thing. Like that was the first thing I thought of. You know, as soon as you mentioned the plan by the dietitian, I thought, well, there's obviously, maybe not obviously, but there potentially could be some kind of, you know, real health issue here. Like, hey, there's a reason for this, and we need to, really pay close attention, or you're headed down a road that's, not a good one.
Right.
We don't know that, but like I said, I'll go with my first instinct. They should probably just be with different people.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, don't know the plan, don't know their situation, but I don't know. I just can't imagine that going over well. Can't imagine saying anything like that.
Yeah. I think
Ever.
you're right. Uh I think you're right all across the board there.
Yeah. No. All right. Am I the asshole for telling my sister the reason why she doesn't look like me or my brother is because she's not one of us? Ooh.
Yeah, you got a loaded one here.
Ooh. So, okay. I'm 17 male, middle child, in the family of three. I have one elder brother, Adam, 23, and one younger sister, Bella, 6. My parents, both 48, only had my sister a few years ago by surrogacy because they wanted another child and for and some other reasons. While my mom and dad did try to have Bella themselves, their attempts failed multiple times. Because Bella was born by surrogacy, she looks different from me and my brother, of course. Now Bella's teacher has assigned a task where they have to write about their family and make a family tree of sorts. My mom was very excited to do a task like this, and she got out a family photo album and began showing Bella photos of her aunts and uncles and other relatives. Bella's very curious, so she began to notice the difference between her relatives. I guess because she asked why she looked different from me and Adam and everyone else in the family. Most of my family is pale, mostly light brown hair. Bella's got tan skin with almost black hair, so yeah, she does look different. I just told her, "You're not fully one of us. No malice intent or anything, just truth." She isn't really like us in the sense of DNA and other things. I guess this news made her upset because she kind of started crying like crazy on the spot. And my mom just shot me a dirty look, like she wanted to skin me alive or something. It took me quite a while for reassurance for Bella to understand that being different wasn't anything bad, and that she was still her child regardless. Got a call from my older brother saying that I was being a total asshole and that I was ridiculous for saying such a thing to a 6 year old and that I should be ashamed of us. It was just something I said. I mean it when I say there was no bad intention behind it. Bella was bound to know in the future anyway, so what was the harm of telling her now? Edit didn't mention this, but sister's been avoiding me lately because of what I said, and she's kind of been distancing herself when family come in as much as a 6 year old can. Go for this one. What do you think?
What a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Like, look, all right, I get it. You're 17, you don't know shit about shit, right? But you still know enough to not tell a 6-year-old, well, you're not fully one of us. Like, all right, the kid will figure it out. And that's for your parents to tell the kid when the kid is
Right.
ready. Kids don't understand this shit. I mean, they can if you explain it to them, but you don't just say you're not one of us. That's a dick move.
It
So
is.
no, so bullshit behind the no malice intent or anything, just the truth. No, dickhead, you totally fucking meant to hurt her feelings, and you're a piece of shit.
Yeah. Plus, look, you and I both know how it is to be 17 years old. Yeah, he's being a complete asshole.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
That's an easy one.
Yeah,
That was an easy
very
one.
easy.
All right, you're up.
All right. Trying to see. So the last one on here, I did kind of skim, and so we're in for a doozy for the end one. But
Nice.
let me all right. So am I the asshole for posting a quote unquote inappropriate post of my daughter and I?
Oh
So
boy.
I, female 56, decided to get Instagram and Snapchat to connect with my kids, Linda, female 19, and Connor, male 16, more. I'm still getting the hang of it, but Connor showed me how it worked. My husband, Bill, male 55, has no interest in any social media as it's just not his thing. Anyway, I hadn't posted yet, and I had taken a trip down to Cancun with Linda over her spring break, as we had talked about doing it after the lockdown was over. We took a lot of great photos, and for my first post, I figured it'd be extremely sweet if it was a photo of Linda and I at the beach. We were both wearing bikinis for reference, because the day after the post, Connor told me that his friends who follow Linda were saying inappropriate things about us. Connor said it was gross seeing his mom and sister like that anyway and wanted me to take down the post. Linda eventually took Connor's side after she found out, and she even admitted one of her friend's moms thought it was inappropriate of me to be exposing us near nude like that. I really had no bad intentions, and I've been crying for the past 2 hours. Bill's been neutral in the whole thing and has been trying to comfort me, but the kids are giving me the cold shoulder. Am I the asshole? I mean,
What the heck were they wearing?
near nude. So how small were these bathing suits?
Right. That's what I wonder. Was like a string? Like,
Like, if it's just bikinis, no, that's not. I don't think that that's
yeah,
inappropriate at all.
it's typical, yeah, typical beachwear, right? I mean,
Right. And it's just 16-year-old kids being 16-year-old boys being 16-year-old boys. You know, they're gonna be like, "Yo, Connor, your mom and sister are hot." They're
yeah,
gonna
exactly.
yeah, they're going to. As long as they don't take
Exactly.
it to the extreme, like, there's things that they could say that would be inappropriate. If they're sending like dick pics to the sister now, then obviously that's not right,
Right.
but apparently Connor's mom has got it going on.
Apparently. Yeah, I mean, really, it boils down to, I guess, like unless it was like, I don't know, super string bikini type thing. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't sound like it was anything much other than the teenage boys being idiots.
Teenage boys
Um,
being horn dogs.
exactly. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I mean,
Um,
like, look, let's put it out there. Look, sexual harassment is never okay. It's never cool. But this just looks like, oh, somebody posted a picture on the internet, so now we're gonna, this dude's mom posted a picture on the internet. She and her daughter are hot, so we're gonna give our friend who's whose mom and sister it is a hard time because we're 16-year-old boys.
Right. And maybe not let your 16-year-old son show you how to use Instagram and Snapchat.
Yeah, that's true too.
You know, I mean, that because who's going to be your first friends? You know,
right.
All right. I don't know. Just a thought.
Yeah. I'm gonna say not. I'm gonna say not the asshole.
No, yeah, I agree. I agree on that one. Yeah, there's no. If anything, just ignore your kid. That
Yeah.
at least your son.
Kids are dumb.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of ignoring, am I the asshole for ignoring my friends during their grieving process? My female friends, 17 years old, Lisa and Layla. Wait, no, I'm sorry. The person speaking here is 17, female. Her friends Lisa and Layla are twin sisters who are 18. We'd been friends for over 10 years, and our relationship was good. They were both pretty blonde white girls and, who were so kind to guide me through the school and defend me from bullies and racists. I am a very unusual ethnic mix, and that made me an easy target. I'm a native Hawaiian and Arab. Naturally, I befriended the one other kid who was unusual ethnic mix, my best friend Andrew, 17, male, who was Azerbaijani and Chinese. When I hung out with Andrew after the pandemic ended, I noticed he'd leave my side once the twins came close to me. I found that very weird because those girls were known to be nothing but kind. When I asked why, he wouldn't talk to me about it. Their father died in an accident earlier this year. This devastated the twins, and I spent a lot of time helping them during the first week. Once Lisa was scrolling through her phone and had a sudden crying fit. Layla went to the bathroom with her to calm her down. I saw that Lisa had left her phone unlocked on the couch, and I guess curiosity got the best of me. Well, I looked at her phone. She was on Instagram as always, but as I scrolled down the chats, I found a small group that where I wasn't included. Again, curiosity got the best of me. I checked it out. It was full of old messages about Andrew, how he brought COVID to school, and questions of has he ever eaten a dog. Then I even questioned how I managed to hang out with him. I was shocked and left the house immediately, not even bothering to close the chat as I left. I blocked them everywhere, and when they came to my house, I instructed my parents and siblings not to answer the door. I ignore them every time they see me in public, and I've been crying on social media about how cruel I am being. Or they have been crying on social media about how cruel I am being. I told Andrew everything. He said I was justified and thanked me for telling him. However, some of my other friends were calling me a bitch for looking through her phone and ignoring them like this while they was grieving. Whatever. I don't know if I'll ever talk to them anytime soon. Am I the asshole? And additional information. I asked them multiple times why Andrew was avoiding them. They'd giggle and not tell me anything, and that caused some suspicion.
Lots to unpack here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, my first thing is they're fucked up, but why did you go into their phone?
Yeah, it's that's like a no-no.
Yeah.
I mean, right off the bat. Of course, now what was included in those messages was obviously not nice.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I don't know. This is a strange one because it's like it just seems like these are very, I don't know. Is brittle a good word on this one? I don't know. It seems like there's a lot of different players or a lot of just a lot of different things going on here that I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, obviously that shit's not cool. Racism's not cool.
No.
But like, I don't know. I mean, look, bad shit happens to people all the time, and it doesn't mean you have to be nice to them just because bad shit happened to them.
Right.
But like, I don't know. I feel like she's not the asshole finding out, look, man, if you're shitty to my friend, then we're probably not going to be on good terms. Now, doesn't mean that all your friends have to be friends with everybody you're friends with, because that's just not ever going to happen. It's very rare when it does. But at the same time, like, I don't know, like, the twins are wrong for their shittiness. If you don't want to talk to them anymore, that's your prerogative. But I feel like kind of everybody's an asshole because you still shouldn't have gone through their stuff at the end of the day.
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing that sticks with me on this one. The Look, people are going to say crap on private messages. Obviously, that's hateful. It's not right. It's whatever. But like, you sought that out,
Right.
and I don't know. It's a tough one on the sense of your friends are idiots for saying crap like that for one, and just don't go through other people's phones is another good starter. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, you would have eventually found out anyway, at the end of the
right?
day.
Yeah.
But so you just didn't have to. You don't go through somebody's phone. That's wrong. So I'm going to
Right.
say in this case, all parties involved except for Andrew, who I would assume probably did not bring COVID to the school, and probably has not ever eaten a dog. He is not an asshole, but everybody else is.
Yeah. 100%. I said we go to the main event on this one,
Okay.
because as I scroll down here, and you've got to read this one though, because this is just I read the
All right.
headline and was like, I know we had one more planned here, but this is just too good, and I know we're getting close to time anyway. So
All right.
I say wrap it up, and here we go.
All right. So here's the main event. Am I the asshole for not wanting a relationship with my stepbrother?
All right, well, we have to talk about this before we even mention the story.
And I have not, full disclosure, I have not read anything in this. I saw the title, and I said, you know what, this is it. This has to be in there.
I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah.
Don't know where to begin.
Yeah.
But I guess here we go.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do it. All right. It's a 29-year-old female. My parents divorced when I was around 11, and the experience was a lot for me at that time, given how close I was to my father and watching him leave. A few months after he left and seeing him every other weekend, he introduced us to his now wife, Anna. I never liked Anna. She never let me have alone time with my father. She had to be there every weekend that we had with him. My father told me I was selfish, and she told me that if I really loved my father, I would want her to be around because she loves him. A few months after that, my parents' divorce was finalized, and then my stepmother's divorce to her first husband began soon after. So she wasn't even divorced. This chick, wow, okay.
Yeah.
She would say
Ooh.
things like, I know the divorce is hard for you. It's hard for me too, since I'm going through a divorce. But this isn't okay that you don't want to have a relationship with me. Anyway, at some point when I was a teenager, 15 to 17, I tried to get along with her, but she has a way to be passive aggressive and manipulative, and it's just too much for me. At some point, they decided to adopt when I was around 18. I tried to have a relationship with their son, Jay, over the years. I'd tell them they didn't have to pay for a nanny. I'd work around my work schedule to help. I saw it as a way for them to save money, but I could get close to him too. He was 10 when they adopted him. My dad would initially always think it was a great idea and tell me he'd talk to Anna about it, but he'd come back saying they just didn't trust me with him alone because I cuss, and they would never let me drive him to and from anywhere because I drive too fast. I do cuss and I do drive fast, But if he was around, I made sure to always have a kid-friendly environment and he'd be safe. At some point throughout the years, if I ever just wanted to spend some one-on-one time with my dad, Anna would make sure Jay was a part of it. I lived in their basement, nice basement, not a creepy one, and I would hear them have dinner together and playing and laughing. And it did hurt for a while, but I got used to it. I was 21 at that time and understood my dad was trying to be better or to do better for his new family. I moved out and haven't been back since. Fast forward to today. I'm moving across country and haven't lived with my father for years. I currently live 45 minutes away from him and he never visits. We don't make plans to see each other. I was hoping to see him one last time since I know we'll never see each other again, but I found out he's upset with me because I don't want to have Jay at the dinner and he thinks it's wrong because Jay thinks I hate him, which I don't. I know Jay is just a kid and none of this is his fault. I just feel like once again Anna uses her son as a way to interfere in the relationship I have with my dad, and that's not okay. I just wanted a last attempt at a one on one with him before I left. I canceled the dinner, and my brother that I grew up with told me I was fucked up for not wanting a relationship with Jay. Am I the asshole? Edit 1. Some commenters asked if I've communicated this to my father before, and I have. My father has told me before that I will never amount to what Jay and Anna mean to him, that he loves them more. My brother told me, my brother that I grew up with thinks I'm fucked up because my dad is genuinely hurt that I don't want a relationship with Jay, and that I'm fucked up because Jay thinks I hate him since I left one day and didn't go back. Edit 2. There was a brief period during COVID I had to move back into my father's. I was still in university and had schoolwork to do. I have a dog and would take him out periodically during the day to run around and use the bathroom before heading back inside the garage, where I lived at this point, to do my work. Anna would watch out the window and wait till I was outside to send Jay outside to play. I would tell him I don't have time to play since I have work and I didn't feel comfortable leaving the dog outside with him alone. She would send Jay over to my room in the garage as well, and I've had to turn him down several times as well to get work done. I have let him play in the room, but not often. The last straw was when Anna mentioned my dog looked underfed and unhealthy and offered to buy him food. He was at a perfect weight and has always been super active and healthy. I left soon after that on a whim one night. All right, so first of all, this I'm so fucking sick and twisted. I did not think that this is the kind of relationship they meant.
Look, I thought the same thing. The way that's worded, people need to be a little more careful with their word choice. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, because this isn't funny now.
Mm-mm.
It killed the funny.
Yeah, it's okay though. We can still make it funny though. Especially with the line of I like this one. You just read this on edit too, and I think this is kind of funny. She would send Jay over to my room in the garage as well, and I've had to turn him down several times as well to get the work done.
Right? Like it sounds like she's trying to. She knew what she was writing.
Exactly.
So,
There's lines in here that make this. Yeah. Although there is another thing though that tells me that this person's in England, I guess. Because here in America, the good old U.S. of A. We never use the line, I was still in university.
or Canada. It could be Canada.
Yeah, Canada's.
But here's my question. So when she was 18, they adopted him. Oh, 10 months. 10 months. I thought he was 10 years. And I was going to say, and this takes place 11 years later. So I'm like, the kid's 21 at this point. Why is he being sent to your room to see if you want to play? Why do you not trust him with your dog? Like, what is this dude doing? Like, but okay, 10 months, not 10 years.
I also like the line of they didn't trust me with.
Wait. Okay, I'm gonna assume it means months because I guess the 10M, because the other ones it says F29 and M whatever. So I'm assuming if it comes after, it's 10 months.
I don't know. I don't follow the lingo. I just like this part too. They didn't trust me with him alone because I cuss and never let him drive Never let me drive him to and from anywhere because I drive too fast.
Yeah, I do.
I do cuss and I drive too fast.
That made me think she was from like Alabama or something. I was thinking,
you know
I'm
what?
like, all
Maybe
right.
she's from the. I think she was from the Huntsville part of southern England.
Yeah, South Wales,
It's-
Huntsville, Wales, Alabama.
That's what this sounds like. She's from
Jeez.
Huntsville, Quebec.
Shit. Y'all come
Mm.
back now. Okay. Or no, y'all come
Uh,
back now. Eh?